I don't have a problem with the WNBA players asking for a raise. The WNBA is on a hot streak. I don't care about the previous 24, 25 years. As an investment, it's starting to pay off.
T-shirt, just United Front was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter.
Caitlin Clark is single-handedly boosting the WNBA, but here's the thing, some players aren't celebrating, they're criticizing her. Here's what most people don't realize about the millions she's bringing in and why her presence might be the league's biggest asset of all time.
All right, you went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a 4 seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking. Okay, if you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, keep your issues to yourself. I don't mind the t-shirts. I think you have leverage. I think you deserve more than 9%. But it's just misstep after misstep.
Imagine this. Your band went from playing tiny gigs at a Motel 6 to selling out shows at the 4 Seasons. That's pretty much where the WNBA is heading, thanks to Caitlin Clark. She's not just any rookie or rising star. She's a name pulling in a level of attention the league has rarely, if ever, experienced. And it's not just hype. Her college games were breaking records before she even stepped onto a WNBA court. Iowa's Final Four showdown against South Carolina, 9.9 million viewers. More people tuned into that than nearly any NBA game of the entire season. Now ask yourself, when's the last time a WNBA player brought that kind of spotlight to women's basketball as a whole? The answer, you already know it.
This is the least profitable, arguably, it'll be over the next 10 years. It's only going to get more profitable as women's basketball gets better, as the Caitlin Clark momentum train gets bigger. This is the player that got you off the airline that was bright yellow, right? She got you an upgrade to a better hotel. I mean, this year she's not playing well. She's hurt. She's not there for all the games. So this is actually not as great as it could be.
Clark is now being positioned as the face of an evolution. Ticket sales spike wherever she plays. Arena seats that used to sit half empty are filling up fast just because fans want to see her play. She's locking in lucrative endorsement deals left and right, and companies aren't just betting big on her. They're noticing the entire WNBA, which benefits every single player in the league. Think about it. More ad revenue and media deals mean higher salaries, better resources, more coverage. The numbers are saying it loud and clear. Clark's presence is lifting the league to a level it hasn't seen before. Despite the glow up, not everyone's impressed.
Regardless of how these negotiations go, she's set. Nobody else is, right? Like, so when somebody joins the band and everything gets upgraded, just be happy. WNBA stars, well, there's one that moves the needle. And here's the other thing to remember. Caitlin Clark's already rich. She made $11 million this year alone in endorsements. I know you wanted your song to be the first one they played. You wanted to make up the set. But it's not the t-shirt.
Some players have openly criticized how much attention Clark is getting, framing it as the media playing favorites or sidelining other athletes. But is that really what's happening here? Or is this just frustration toward a system Clark didn't create but happens to thrive in? A little resentment is understandable. Spotlight shifts can feel unfair. But this isn't just about headlines or highlight reels. This is about a person who's bringing unprecedented opportunities to a league that's been fighting hard for relevance. Clark's impact is obvious. The energy she creates is infectious. Here's the real question though. Why are some players more worried about her shine than the doors she's opening for everyone? Let's get into what that's really costing them next. What happens when you push back against the one thing that's transforming everything around you for the better?
Listen, NBA players make 50% of revenues. WNBA players make 9%. And now the merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up 40%. When The Athletic, which is a subscription-based sports writing site, got purchased by the New York Times, The Athletic was losing $45 million a year. They bought it for scale. So it doesn't really matter. I've said this before. I made an investment for 5 years and it lost money, and I got about 6 months left in the investment, and in the last 6 months they started making cash.
Some WNBA players seem to be doing exactly that when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Her rise is undeniable, but instead of everyone rallying behind her, there's tension, like when Kelsey Plum commented that Clark gets too much attention. It's the kind of criticism that risks slowing the league's growth at a time when momentum is finally swinging in their favor. On the surface, you could chalk it up to feeling overshadowed. Clark is a rookie pulling in $1 million in endorsements this year alone. While most WNBA players are still fighting for mainstream recognition, that stark contrast might sting, especially for veterans who've put in years of work only to have the spotlight shift with Clark's arrival. But here's the catch. The very focus on Clark that feels unfair to some is also creating opportunities for everyone. The revenue she's helping generate translates to bigger contracts, better sponsorships, and more media attention for the league as a whole. Think about how the NBA exploded during Michael Jordan's prime.
So the Big Ten preseason media poll came out. Now think about this. The best offensive player in college football is a Buckeye. The best defensive player, Caleb Downs, is a Buckeye. And I think this is one of those things, and it's going to be hard to stomach for a lot of people. The Big Ten is officially better than the SEC. It's not just that Ohio State won the Natty last year. It's that they humiliated Tennessee. It looks a lot like it used to 8 years ago when a Georgia or an Bama would face a Big Ten team.
Players like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant weren't complaining about Jordan taking up all the airtime. They reaped the benefits. When your league has a magnet that pulls in fans and money, the smart move is to support it, not resist it. Imagine being in a band where the new member is booking bigger gigs and drawing in sponsors. Sure, they're doing the heavy lifting, but everyone in that band is cashing bigger checks because of it. That's where the WNBA is now, and players have a choice. Embrace Clark as an asset or risk alienating the new fans her presence attracts. Experts agree that leagues thrive when players unite and amplify each other rather than create division. Examples are everywhere. Teams that celebrated their stars, whether it was Golden State with Steph Curry or the NBA as a whole embracing LeBron, soared. Caitlin Clark can be that for the WNBA, but only if the players let her. Is it time for them to shift their perspective and think long term? Caitlin Clark isn't just raising her own profile. She's dragging the entire WNBA up with her. The league is now in a stronger position than ever, riding a wave of momentum sparked in large part by her breakout success. As one expert put it, it's only going to get more profitable as women's basketball gets better, as the Caitlin Clark momentum train gets bigger. Every player stands to benefit from this, with salaries poised to rise and negotiations leaning in their favor. So the real question isn't whether Clark's arrival changes the game, it's whether the players are ready to embrace it.